I think on the heels of last several games, I think he's had some good moments, but from start to finish, I thought he was solid. His activity level, his discipline with his angles of his screens, that was a big piece of it. And we got going early, early attacks and pick and rolls because his angles set all that up. It's something that we've been stressing to see, have the opportunity to do it at a high level. Defensively, I thought he was solid. His activity, his awareness guarding a shooter, not being overly aggressive and taking himself out of the play, but being able to get back, contest, stay in the play, and that's big for a guy who's struggled at times versus those type matchups.
Did those moments in which you got to play with KP go exactly how you imagined, or what did you take away from that?
Oh, they were good. I knew it was going to be a small sample. It's something we've talked about, something we've worked on a little bit, but we were able to stay organized, and those guys, defensively cross-match, but, overall, I thought those minutes were valuable.
You guys were obviously good, kind of wire to wire, but how big was the third quarter, especially with, I think it was like 13 assists, 15 buckets?
Yeah, no, it was finished with 38 assists, which is a huge number. We've shown when we move the ball, and our efficiency rate goes up. So it's a good thing to see that continues. Guys are continuing to play for each other and trying to make the right plays at the right time. And then also have the confidence to step up and knock down shots. But that ball movement's got to be kind of our identity, which it's a good thing to, guys have bought into that, and we've had a lot of success with it.
What prompted you to experiment with the KP Gaff grouping tonight?
Well, it was actually on the docket since we made the trade, and obviously KP missed a lot of time early. After the break, Gaff was recovering from COVID, so things didn't quite go as we wanted. So we wanted to just put KP in a spot where he could have immediate impact and have success without overthinking or moving too many other pieces around. So, we've talked about it at length over the last few weeks, and obviously not a ton of games to play, but in particular tonight, we knew they were going to start big. So it gives you an opportunity, favorable matchup, you could say, to try it.
I know Ava asked you about this, but I'd like you to expand. Were there specific things that you saw that you really liked in those 10 and a half minutes?
Yeah, it's one thing, and KP's done it all this whole stretch. His ability to stretch the floor, it just opens things up, and that's where Ish and Sato have been great at getting downhill. Gaff's, whether he's rolling and catching in the pocket and finishing, or just rolling, those triggers open up the three. It opens up long closeouts, and you've seen it. The numbers tonight, the points in the paint, allows the floor to be spaced and allows us room to play.
What do you hope a performance such as this does for Gaff's confidence, or especially heading into the offseason?
Yeah, hopefully it's another springboard moment where he could just kind of take it. It's a positive step. And we have a few games to play, but to see him bounce back the way he did after a tough night we all had in Boston, I thought that was great.
Rue kind of mentioned the other day that not being in the starting lineup was an adjustment for him, and he feels like he's in a little bit of a better groove. Have you noticed that at all, or do you just think he's able to kind of take advantage of the more minutes that he's getting, kind of playing with those group of guys? Are you seeing any difference between him?
Not in general. I think just the more comfortability with what we do, how we do it, the pace at which we want to play, the spacing, overall execution, all those things, I think, but nothing specific that would say, well, there's a huge difference between him starting or coming off the bench. Obviously, the pairings on the floor may matter because some of that changes what we run. But in general, I don't think it's anything specific to him. If that's an area that he's more comfortable in, it's good to know that. Yeah, I think most guys would.
If Daniel were not agile with his feet and go fast, would a defensive pairing with him and KP work?
I think in general, it's a tough one to tell. anytime you have an unathletic, unskilled, or you're in for a rough night. But I don't know if I can answer that question, or even, that question makes sense giving Gaff's stability. It's a good question if you're saying, hey, does it make sense to have a guy who can't move his feet paired next to KP? I think it doesn't work. Gaff, because of his agility, his size, athleticism, even when he gets beat, he has the athleticism to make plays late, to make plays at the rim. You can switch at times depending on, the ball handler is with Gaff. So it gives you a little bit of balance, and some nights it's going to work better than others. But I think in general, it's something that we've talked about and wanted to see, and it worked out well tonight.
All right, we'll go to Zach.
Hey, Coach. I apologize if you addressed this already, but what did you think of Rui's bounce back night after his scoreless game the other day?
So it's a good sign to see. It takes a level of maturity when you have a tough night to put it aside. Obviously you got to learn from it, but refocus and come out fresh start. And I thought all of our guys did a terrific job with that. We put that one behind us. Obviously, it's one we'd like to forget, but we knew coming in this was a big game for the Wolves with playoff seeding and implications. We were going to, anticipate getting their best game. So it was good that we finally got our defense set, defense into the game, and obviously we make shots, move that ball. We're pretty tough to beat.
Thank you.
All right, last question to Neil.
Hey, Coach, do you expect to have Kyle Kuzma tomorrow? And additionally, do you expect to rest anybody additional because of the back-to-back?
We haven't talked about the resting on the back-to-back. I don't anticipate having Kyle. We'll see how guys respond. I know they played a lot of minutes early. Our young guys play a lot of minutes throughout, which is obviously a good thing. But we'll see how everyone feels on the flight down and where we are when we land. Make that decision.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Coach.
KP, what did you like about playing with Gaff tonight?
I thought we would be pretty good all together. And yeah, Gaff is one of the most dangerous pick and roll players because of the attention he draws in. And tonight he was, they weren't doing a good enough job on him, so he was getting a lot of wide open lobs, layups, and that kind of thing. So Gaff had a fantastic game. I'm happy for him, and I enjoyed playing alongside with him.
How big was it for you to see this team kind of regroup and come out with that good team effort also after Boston?
Yeah, I think it was important for us to get that feeling back. That was an ugly game from us, but we knew that's not who we are, and we could play at a much better level. But hats off to Boston. They played incredible. That was, since I've been here, that was the best defense I've played against. But yeah, we came out tonight, came prepared to play. Ish was fantastic. We had great energy on the bench. Everybody was into the game. Thomas was getting wide open looks for everybody. Rui played really good. I think from top to bottom, we just kind of were having fun, sharing the ball, playing well. But yeah, Gaff was exceptional tonight.
What have you learned about Gaff since you became his teammate?
Yeah, I love Gaff. He's super chill. He's a super chill teammate and a good teammate. And I think both of us playing together defensively, it's 2 7-footers. I don't know if he's 7 feet, but he's long and he's athletic. Not as athletic as me, of course, but he's super athletic and he can block shots. He can recover situations when it's already too late. And to play with a guy like that can always have your back. It's fun, and yeah, he's been a great teammate on and off the court.
I'll take a quick one from Zoom. Kristaps.
KP, great game, great win. That bounce back ability for you guys, what kind of foundation is for the next season?
kind of foundation?
Oh, yeah. I think we're learning. We're learning about each other. We're learning about the coaching staff is learning my game. Is learning everybody how we're gonna click for next season. As I said before, we're missing Brad, and hopefully he's back with us next season. But with the group that we have, I think we're building it, and we're building in the right direction. We bounce back from games like the Boston game, which is important. Might not mean anything in terms of the standings, but it means for us as a group and going into next season. So we have a long off season ahead of us, and it's important that we go into the off season with a positive mindset and a good feeling about how we finish the season, and then work our asses off in the off season and come back next season ready to make some noise.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more from
Hey, KP, just what's the communication like on the defensive end when you and Gaff are both on the floor?
Yeah, that's one thing since I got here. I kind of been trying to instill into everybody that we have to talk more on the defensive end. We have to be loud, and we have to let each other know, even if we make mistakes, we have to keep going and keep yelling out the defensive coverages and just be talking. We have to talk more. That's something. If we want to be a good defensive team, we really have to step up, and we have been doing a much better job lately, anticipating what's going to happen and talking out saying whatever we need to say on the defensive to make sure everybody's engaged. And yeah, me and Gaff, I think we're going to have good synergy going forward. Is that a word? Synergy? Pretty good.
It is. Thanks, KP. Safe travels.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. What did you feel like the team did well tonight, Daniel?
We paid attention to detail and we locked in defensively. That was the main thing. We knew that we were going to be a lot of three shot. We had locked in on the rebounding point of it too. Everybody came in, they crashed the glass, came in, gained rebound. It was some bumps in the roads where we didn't get back in transition, but we fixed it on the fly. We stayed together and we stayed calm. We stayed poised. We didn't let anything, I would say, rush us. I was trying to talk to guys as much as I could out there on the floor too. It was just like, don't let them speed us up because, sometimes they were a little aggressive. They were amping up on the defensive end for them and kind of making us turn over the ball and stuff. And they're a real good team when it comes to scoring off of turnovers. So that was the main thing is what we had to do was just take care of the ball, find the right guys, put it in the hands of the right guys and stuff,
When did you find out today, or maybe the day before, that the coaches intended to play you alongside Porzingis?
I found out yesterday. Me and Coach had a conversation about it and stuff. He said we were going to experiment with it, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm down for it."
And how do you think it went tonight? And what do you think the potential for it is for this team?
I mean, it went good. I feel like it went the way that we wanted it to. We made sure that during shoot around and stuff, we kind of went over some of the points and stuff on where I needed to be on the floor. When KP has the ball and needed to space out, KP spaced out the floor. We did basically everything we needed to do on the floor to make it work. And, if we go with that again, night in, night out, it's going to be good for us because, it's helping us open up the floor. It's making our offense flow a lot more, smooth, I would say. There were some times of confusion, but we did figure it out too.
Yeah, if you guys in the past month or whatever have had really high highs like tonight, Detroit and everything like that, and really low lows, what do you think is the key to kind of flattening that out? Like, is there one thing where you're like, if we can just, key in on the rebounding every night, that'll help everything else?
I mean, like I said, really just locking in and paying attention to detail on things that helps us, have nights like this. It's just like with the rebounding, we have to stay locked in with that every game. We got to remain consistent on the areas that, we want to excel in, which rebounding is one of them. We got to make sure guys don't, come in and get their career highs with offensive boards. We got to make sure, we rebound the ball in general, gang rebound, always be there for each other, communicate on defense, and play as a unit. That's the main thing that'll help our offense, that'll help our defense. Night in, night out, if we have like communication like we did tonight, and then make sure, we don't get frustrated with the refs, because night in, night out is going to be tough with the refs, but that's not going to change in any given day. So we just have to keep playing. That's the main thing. Staying locked in and staying the course and just playing a full 48 minutes of the game.
What do you think it will do for your off season to, if you can have, a couple more games to end the year like tonight?
It'll be real good. It shows that us finishing off the season, it gives us that, I would say, mindset to come into the next season to pick up basically where we left off. It was a lot of bumps in the road. There was a lot of adversity throughout this season that, we really didn't expect. It's a lot of stuff that didn't go our way. It was a lot of outcomes that happened with us that we didn't expect either, So when it came to that, I felt like, it was something like I say for myself, I didn't handle that well. There was times where I came out and just played, and I didn't show, the level of play that I did tonight. And that's one thing for sure. I have to work on my consistency. I'm pretty sure other guys in the locker room are saying the same thing. So one thing for sure for me, and speaking of everybody on the team, there was a lot of adversity that we had trouble getting over throughout the season, but we found a way and we stayed together. It was a lot of guys came in, it was a lot of guys that went out, and we still kept going. We came in every day and we worked. We came in every day and we paid attention to detail, and we tried to figure out ways to put ourselves in the position that we wanted to be in. And so going into the offseason, if we can keep this stretch going, that gives us a lot of confidence coming into the next season when we're all fully healthy. Oh, yeah. The main thing is really just, if I'm open, shoot the ball. It was one where Karl Anthony Towns, he basically backed up all the way to the basket, and I still went to go do a DHO. That's the one thing that I need to excel at, is building my confidence to where I just take the shot and not worry about the outcome. If I make it, good. If I miss it, next shot, plain and simple. Next play down the floor, get it back on defense with a stop, and don't try it again until the next couple of plays, but really just, working on my level of confidence to be able to take those shots and feel comfortable in that setting to make those shots, really. Mm-hmm. I was good because, KP, he's somewhat of mostly just like a pick and pop guy. He posts up from time to time, and I'm just a guy that's down there in the dunker working, wedge, rebound, and doing all the dirty stuff, getting in there, fighting, biting, scratching, whatever I can to get a rebound or anything. And KP does his work up top. So it's good. I had a conversation with KP at halftime. I think it was halftime. It was before the second quarter. He had told me, he was like, if I get the ball at the high post or anything like that, if I'm on one side, go to the opposite. If I'm on this side, go that way. So we basically planned it out perfect. We figured it out, and it worked out in our favor tonight.
All right, we'll take a couple quick ones from Zoom. You're on.
Hi, Gaff. Can you talk about the connection with Denny?
Connection with Denny, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me and Denny, we have a good connection. I try to keep him locked in when it comes to the refs, because he gets frustrated time and time again when he doesn't get fouled, or he gets frustrated in general. He does the same thing to me. So we just try to make sure we're both on the same page going down the stretch. If he makes a pass or if he, gets a turnover or something like that, I always try to go talk to him to help him figure out ways to where he can fix that. He can fix whatever happened the play before, and tell him that, just worry about the next play and try to get a stop on the defensive end. If you turn it over, if you miss a shot, try to get a stop on the defensive end to go get that shot again. Plain and simple. So we are always in each other's ear and trying to make sure that we're both staying locked in. It's a lot of frustration out there on the floor, and having guys, come up to you and try to help you is something that's big, because it brings you back down to earth. Because if you get frustrated, you get into your own head, you start to get down on yourself and whatnot. And I see that with Denny all the time, and I try to, at least give him some type of advice that'll help him on the floor in the long run. And he does the same for me. So.
All right, last question on you.
Hey, Gaff, I guess first off, did you know that you scored a career high 24 points and had a career high 12 rebounds?
Yes. Well, I knew the career high in points. I didn't know it was a career high in rebounds.
And I guess for you and KP, obviously still a long ways to go. This is just a small taste of it. Where do you guys see that
communication wise, you guys can improve? Obviously, you guys playing center a lot, are sometimes the focal point communicating. How is it? Is it better when two guys, with that much used to doing it are out there?
Oh yeah, I mean, it worked out in our favor tonight. As everybody can see, like I said, we dialed in on it this morning during shoot arounds. We put in plays with me and him on the floor at the same time, and we came out and we, had turnover from shoot arounds and brought it to the floor. So we really were paying attention to detail and came out and executed the way we wanted to tonight. I wasn't in his way. I try my best not to be in nobody's way, especially out there on the floor. And, the communication with both of us, it was good because he told me wherever I'm in on the floor, just work opposite. And he'll either find me or he'll get a bucket or he'll get the ball on the rim and I can try to get the rebound. Those are the main things that we talked about before the game and stuff. And like I said, it worked out in our favor. And I feel pretty good about it too.